Placenta is the temporary connection between mother and fetus. It is formed by maternal, that is decidua basalis, and fetal tissue called as chorion or chorionic villi. Let's start the basic journey of fertilized ovum to implantation. After fertilization, zygote comes into the uterus and performs cell division on the way. Zygote is still covered with zona pellucida, that's why zygote size unable to increase but number of cells keep increasing. After it attends 16 cell stage, it called as morula. Do you know why this stage called as morula? It because this structure of this stage resembles the mulberry. Now uterine water in the uterus start to move inside the cell, forming small cavity called blastocoil. At 64 to 128 cell stage, zona pellucida get rupture, and this stage is now called as blastocyst. Blastocyst give rise to outer cell mass called as trophoblast and inner cell mass called as embryonic knob. This trophoblast starts to penetrate endometrium and get implant. Now let's begin the topic of this video, that is stages of placenta formation. When trophoblast enters in endometrium, it gets embedded in spongy layer of endometrium called as decidua functionalis. This layer shed off during menstruation. Another layer of endometrium that present directly below of growing embryo to provide nourishment. This layer is called as decidua basalis. Now single layer of trophoblast blast become double layer of cells. Outer layer became multinucleated and called as syncytial trophoblast, while inner cellular layer of trophoblast called cytotrophoblast. Some syncytial trophoblast starts to grow and developed. Results in finger-like projection. The space between this is called as lacunae. In lacunae, the endometrium blood vessels get struck to provide nutrients and other components to growing embryo. Lacunae get separated from other syncytium called trabeculae. Now changes occurs in embryo and it form extraembryonic mesoderm. Later on, this extraembryonic mesoderm gets break and form a stalk called as connecting stalk. In future it form placenta. Now for simplification, let's see the layers which are related to placenta. Extraembryonic mesoderm layers. First one is chorion. It is formed from cytotrophoblast and outer extraembryonic mesoderm. It provides protection to embryo and form chorionic villi, which forms placenta. Second one is amnion, made up of extraembryonic mesoderm and epiblast. It does not have any role in placenta formation. Now coming to our structure, cytotrophoblast starts to move outside from syncytial trophoblast and from outer cytotrophoblastic shell. Here each trabeculus have central part made up of cytotrophoblast and covered by syncytium. Now trabeculae surrounded by maternal blood, hence trabeculae called primary villi. After extraembryonic mesoderm enters each villus, forming extraembryonic mesoderm surrounded by cytotrophoblast surrounded by syncytial trophoblast. This structure now called as secondary villi. After some time, connecting stalk connect directly embryo with villus and it called as umbilical cord. Some extraembryonic mesoderm get develop and form blood vessels. Extraembryonic mesoderm in umbilical cord get converted in 2 umbilical arteries and 1 umbilical vein. This vein and arteries moves up and connect to chorionic vein and arteries respectively on the surface of chorion, and this arteries vein continues in villi. Now this fully developed villi called tertiary chorionic villi. Blood vessels in villi exchanges gases, uric acid antibodies, viruses, lipids with maternal blood present in lacunae. Now all this structure is called as placenta. It takes approximately 12 weeks for the complete development of placenta.